I'm about to have my first pumpkin spice bubble tea of the season. I'm so excited. Bear with me as I get used to talking with this mic because I haven't used it and I really need to. Okay. We're gonna take this off the table. I think it's gonna knock over the phone. Does anyone else with these cardboard straws? It's so hard to actually puncture this with them. No, I can't have a leftover straw. That's how it should go. Anyway. This is so good. All right, let's get on with the topic at hand. The what about me effect. It has been plaguing social media for a while now, but I feel like we only really started talking about it in the last week. And it's all because of the bean soup TikTok. So in case you haven't seen it, it's just this girl who makes a bean soup that's high in iron. She got a bunch of comments saying, well, what can I substitute the beans with? Maybe just don't make the bean soup. Maybe just make a different soup. But no, that was apparently not the first thought that came into their head. And people were commenting like, well, what if I don't like beans? What do I do if I don't like beans? And the answer to that is move on. Find another recipe that doesn't have beans, or I don't know, just fucking scroll past. It's wild to me that the entire TikTok is about bean soup. It's not just a soup and then bean is in there as an ingredient. No, this entire soup is based on beans. And there are people who decided to make it known in the comments that they're not a fan of beans. It is just... I'm going to play you a TikTok by this girl named Sarah who explains this whole thing beautifully, the what about me effect, and then we're going to talk about it.
The what about me effect basically combines individualistic culture with being chronically online. What about me effect is when someone sees something that doesn't really pertain to them, or they can't fully relate to, and they find a way to make it about them, or try to seek out certain accommodations for their very nuanced, personalized situation, instead of recognizing that maybe they are just not the target audience for that thing. I think it's this individualistic culture that we have created in the United States and maybe elsewhere, I don't know, where we make everything about ourselves and seek out accommodations and validation for everything. And before someone makes this about something it's not, I'm coming to you as a leftist who cares a lot about equity and inclusion, so those are not the things I'm talking about. When you come onto this app and you see a video and you have the urge to comment something like, well, what about my very specific scenario? Or, well, not everyone can blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna encourage you to stop, use your noggin, and remember that things are nuanced. Not everything can apply to every single person, and there doesn't always need to be a specific accommodation for you.
Completely agree with everything she's saying. I think that now everyone has this obsession with making it about themselves, that it must be about them if it shows up on their For You page. I think it has something to do with the fact that we are so used to everything being so perfectly curated for us, because that's literally what TikTok does. That's what Instagram does. That's what all the apps we use do, YouTube too. I think it's impossible for people to wrap their brains around the fact that something is coming up on their For You page, right? Curated for them, the main character, okay? They cannot comprehend when it's actually not technically for them. If you don't like beans and a bean soup recipe comes up, it's not really for you. But for some reason, people can't grasp that, wait, it's popping up on my feed and it's not something that's for me? Impossible. I need to raise this issue with somebody. I need to make it known that this was not curated for me. I think that that's why people have become so comfortable too commenting on things that have nothing to do with them, because they feel like that video should have been for them in the first place. And they're like, okay, how can I change this so that it can be made about me? It doesn't have to go super viral for you to have this what about me thing. I think I posted a cereal comparison thing. I was trying Cinnabon cereal and the cinnamon toast cereal, and I was like, which one is better? Get a comment from someone saying, well, what about the people that can't have a lot of sugar? Well, don't have cinnamon bun cereal. It just seems like people have an inability to scroll past, an inability to not comment on something. I honestly think TikTok is the number one contributor to this. Social media in general does contribute, but TikTok specifically, it's so bad. If it's not for you, that's okay. You can literally just go to the search bar and type in soup that doesn't have beans in it. And I guarantee you that TikTok will spit something out. If you need something personally for you, you can look it up yourself. That leads me to my next point, which I think plays such a big part in all of this. And it's people being unable to do things for themselves. No one can look things up on their own. Apparently, everyone forgets Google. Everyone forgets the fucking search bar. You do not have to rely on a random person on the internet to figure it out for you. People really feel like they are owed something when it comes to creators online. They feel like, okay, you put it on the internet, it didn't work for me, so you should make it work for me, because otherwise, why are you posting this recipe if you're not going to make it work for everyone that it pops up on their For You page for? I'm getting distracted by literally Twilight Breaking Dawn on my TV. I have it on mute, but like the shit has been on all day. I kept it in the background because I'm kind of entertained every few minutes. It was on all yesterday. It's on all today. Like literally fall hit and they were like, here's Twilight into your eyeballs. I'm already halfway through. I'm sad. I have another example that is just wild. I think because there are so many people so chronically online now, there's so much more opportunity for comparison. People have developed this really cynical way of looking at things. Will have the most negative possible response to something that's supposed to be positive. Like the intent of the creator is to share something positive, and people will immediately try to take it in a negative way and are determined to make it about their experience and about them. Let me show you this reel. Sweet, right? It's cute. It's wholesome. My immediate reaction to that was like, I never thought of it like that. That's actually really cute. And then I went to the comment section and the comments are so unhinged, so full of just trauma dumping. People were like so angry, so offended that she dare say that their look could have possibly represented love, because that's not the experience that they had. They brought up arranged marriages, forced marriages, non-consensual acts, things that I don't want to say the word here on YouTube. I don't want to get demonetized. People were like, no, like my parents were forced to marry, so that's bullshit. People just slept together. People didn't give a shit about each other. Love didn't exist back then. Nice try though. Clearly being like, that doesn't apply to me, so this is a ridiculous video. Actually being malicious about it. I get it. Not everybody's face is going to come from all these generations of love. That's clearly not her experience. Maybe her parents and their parents and so on was out of love, and she thought, how can I frame it in a positive way? How can I change my mindset about this? It's not her saying all of those other experiences where people's face didn't come from love don't exist or aren't valid. Her experience does not eliminate yours. Her experience is not saying that your experience is not valid. She's coming from her own experience. And the fact that thousands of people were immediately like, how dare you for not making this about me? It should be obvious that she's not trying to take away from your experience. She's just trying to reframe her insecurity and make it something positive. I think people are just so quick now to take the negative route. I think it has to do with the fact that a lot of people are just comparing ourselves more than ever. Comparison is normal, but we are just doing it to a degree, I think, that's not normal, and it's making everybody more unhappy. And I don't know the solution to this. I honestly don't. I think that when someone sees something that doesn't pertain to them, that isn't about them, scroll past it. If you want something that's going to be exactly for you, you maybe have to do some of your own work and figure it out. I think as long as TikTok exists, people are always going to feel like everything is kind of handed to them, aka the For You page, your feed. But you do one little scroll and a new video is given to you that is perfectly curated for you. And I honestly think that that gives people some kind of sense of entitlement. I think it's good that we're becoming aware of it and like discussing it so that people are like, oh shit, I've actually done that. Maybe talking about it and putting it out there will help people realize that the what about me thing is not helpful and it is just so main character syndrome. Maybe it will take people a little bit out of their bubble. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. I'm going to be doing more chatty videos like this, more commentary style videos from now on. I've always wanted to do it and I keep procrastinating on starting that. So if you like chatty videos like this, that you can just play in the background while you're doing things around the house, while you're working, because those are literally lately like the only videos I watch now, like the ones that I don't actually have to look at and I can just listen. Stick around because there are more coming. There's one thing I do well, it's talk. It's not shut the fuck up. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.